Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Radio Free Wall Street at our new time. It's 6 o'clock New York time, more or less. And you know how that goes with me because, let me tell you what happens. I'm in the information business, okay? And fortunately, in the information business, as those of you who are in it know, it's a trading business, okay? I really know how to trade a market. I really, really know a lot of times how to get it right, and you guys have been around me, know I get lucky. And so that means I have a commodity, and that's information on what market moves are going to be. Now, in order for my commodity to have value, it's got to be right. The other thing is, in order for my commodity of trades to have value, I need information. So I am spending my life as an information consuming machine. Let me tell you a quick story. Back in the early days, we're talking in the 80s, when I started this journey that with the brokerage firm and all that, an event happened. Two events happened. One was that there was the Reuters terminal, and Reuters had a terminal that you had to pay a telephone line, and it was a dedicated line. In our case, was thousands of dollars. And I went to a satellite guy in Kansas City, and I said, "Listen, let's get this audio file that goes down the phone line." You've heard it like a sing song. I said, "And let's put it down an audio channel on uplink on the satellite." And my guy in Texas will be on the satellite, and let's see if we can get it, and let's see if the terminal will suck in that information. Guess what? By God, it worked. Well, we were one of the first in the business that had a Reuters terminal on every broker's desk, and it was a major turning point for me. Now, the next thing that happened, since I was in the satellite business, meaning I had to put satellite earth stations in at the offices to receive the data, CNN News went on, okay? And Ted Turner at that time was a conservative, had screwed on pretty right. And, wow, 24-hour live news with video. So I put that in. And that started now, what started out with, one terminal and one video feed is like 24 now. Video feeds plus audio plus every known, quotation service and pool, there, whether it be the bond market or the precious metals or whatever, that focuses at my desk, okay? I get that information, and that gives me a lot of what I need. Now, from calling that information, I have a program that is artificial intelligence that pulls down stories out of keyword searches, which and it also pulls down stories that with the frequency they look at, and then I've got some of my proprietary stuff we do. And that's where the news files and all that accumulates, and that's where a lot of information's there. Of course, you got to get the various institutes like the American Petroleum Institute and the World Gold Council and Trudy Lundberg with the Lundberg Report. There's endless companies that report information, and a lot of that's raw data. See, once it gets there to the spin meisters of Wall Street, they spin it. Oh, yeah, we're doing really good here. Create 10 million jobs. Yeah. Anybody want to work at the pizza shop here? Yeah. Blacks are going to work in mass. Yeah. It's probably made more in the days of cotton, but that is not the information you need to have. So that's what we do. Now, I also trade information. Sorry. So basically, with this pool of information, we now trade back and forth, okay? And some sources go back a long time, some were really placed. A lot of important sources helped me with the Monica Lewinsky and Clinton thing when we broke that story. When we, the 87 stock market crash again was really good information on the stupid shit that they were doing with their magic boxes. Now I have incredibly good information on what goes on with the algo guys and what goes on with the high-frequency traders. And I'm also getting my political network is alive and well. So I guess the story today is to talk about information that's buzzing around about things that are happening in the Trump administration. As you know, his key campaign manager, he was not a coffee boy, is on trial. Jury's out. And we believe the jury is going to come back, and it's not going to be nice. And then he has a second trial, and that's going to be nice. And now we found out that the White House counsel, a guy by the name of Donald McGahn, has been cooperating with the special counsel, Robert Mueller, and he has a lot of knowledge about a lot of the meetings that went on, some that you know about, some you don't. And it is growing and growing and growing. Now, we are on to a big story, and part of it is for our general audience. Let me explain. I am in the information business. We have the Financial News Network, it's the Wall Street Insider's Financial News Network. We provide data and market news, okay? Similar to Reuters and similar to Bloomberg's, okay? And we're about in the same price range, you know. And we have various tiers of service and all that stuff like everybody else does. We do not have a mass audience, and we most of our subscribers have been with us for 20 years or more, so that should say something to you. So what's happened is this Radio Free broadcast is something that became a tradition with us. We went live on the radio in the 90s, and the 2007, 8, 9 wipeout was one of the main things we warned about. And let me tell you why I did it. As you can see, there's no advertising on this radio broadcast. We run it. You listen to it. That's nice. You don't like it. I don't give a shit. Click it off. No pop-up ads. No begging you for shit. You don't want to get just like, you know, kiss my ass. You don't like it. Hopefully it'll save your nasty ass because no one else is trying to. And I can tell you, I do this, by the way, not for you. I do this for me. I have greedy motives, and that is that I'm planning on scoring $1 billion for me and my associates in this thing. Okay, and when I do that, life's going to be very nice. And when I enjoy those billions, and I'm going to become a real asshole too, by one of the really big snobs, I guess. Or maybe not. I might just give all the money away. I'm not sure. But when I do that, I want my conscience clear. I really. And so, like I said, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't give a shit. That's bullshit, guy. I really don't care. I'm not trying to get a bigger audience. We aren't the Agora assholes with the, and if you subscribe now, we'll give you an extra bonus report how wooden prophylactic material really is bigger orgasm, all this stupid shit. And how to cure cancer with vitamin C dosage is that are in a powdered form. Did you know crystal vitamin C is better? You know, all that bullshit. I don't need it. Don't do it. So I do this because of not you but me. And that is that I want my conscience clear that when you spend the breadline, when Trump wipes out the economy, when there's a depression, all your mutual funds go dog shit gaga, I can say, hey, you know what? I told you so, and yes, give me the name of your church, and I'd be glad to make a food donation. I mean that. So I do this, as you can see, free. We'll post it on the web. I think they got it on YouTube now. I don't go to that shit. And it's offered without any pop-up ads. I don't need your goddamn email address. You can keep the damn thing. I don't give a shit. But you've got the Holy Grail. Now, the reality is that 99% of the people that hear what I say, that guy's crazy, that's bullshit, okay? Now, those of you with me go, well, a lot of times he's right, and me might probably right this time. That's our core group. And a few people have got a brain that functions inside thinking to themselves, well, you know, this guy's starting to make sense to me, and let me lift up the veil and see what I can see. So, that's where you're at. So I'm going to go on here with the story. Like I said, I want nothing from you. Listen to the Radio Free Wall Street. My loyal subscribers, market news and commentary tomorrow. We're going to cover in depth of some of where this is moving. I have a big story to tell you, and obviously I want to save it for our Wall Street Insiders Financial News Network people on the 12 o'clock noon broadcast. I'm going to give you the story with the trades that's developing here. Big moves going on, big change in things, and that's a direct result. As you remember, we told you we gave you that inside polling that showed Trump basically has no chance in midterms right now, so he needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat. So we'll get this thing going, and we're about to have fun. So Radio Free Wall Street is free, and like everything, and let me tell you something a long time ago. When you got no skin in the game, free is worth nothing. So it's worth nothing to you. For the people who are loyal subscribers and they, want our information service on our terminals, this is very valuable, and they tend to know what to do with it. So that's just the nature of the world. But this is only for me. When I go to bed at night, I can say, God, I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for this event today. And I call I don't say a gift of trades. I call it a gift of trades, plural. I regard every trade I have that's successful as a gift of God, really. I mean, I got to do my work with it, but that's really how I look at it. So it's a gift of trades, plural, and hopefully there's a lot more S's on it. As far as this goes, I say, God, I warned everybody that would listen about the coming depression and wipeout, about Trump's bullshit, about the con jobs, and my conscience is clear. I've done all a man could do. Anyway, let's get on the story. All right, Donald Trump's noose is getting closer around his neck. I don't give a shit if you believe the deep state conspiracy or Trump's just an innocent guy of really bad people hurting Donald Trump, who's the last hope of conservatives. You want to believe that shit? Fine. Okay. And so what happened was we went ahead and have now got a good understanding of what Trump's up to, okay? He understands the prosecutors are getting very close. Like I said, Daniel McGahn, who we're always suspicious about this guy, was involved in a lot of this, should we say, intrigue in the White House. Now, let me tell you the problem. Donald Trump has a way of corrupting honest people, okay? Like most people like that. I've known many corrupting politicians, okay? And I have to say, I've had the privilege of bringing a few of them down. Now, Omarosa is an example of a very aggressive lady who obviously was in and out of Donald Trump's circle at 4 or 5 times hired. So whatever she was or is, he certainly, with his, woo, remember, he can tell by just looking in your eyes your thoughts and all that. So I'm sure he's smart enough to know whatever it was, good or bad. Obviously, she had a very high, this wasn't no Radio Shack recording device, some high-quality electronics, and I'm sure it was discreetly placed that even Donald Trump's security guys didn't catch it. Boy, I'll tell you what, you're at the door, you're fired! Could you hear the screaming with that asshole? That was you supposed to check her? She walked in here with stereo, Dolby surround sound, you asshole. Oh. And you're supposed to be we're talking about a general. We're talking about his chief of staff. We're talking about one of the main guys commanding the mightiest military of the world in the land, the sea, the air, tanks, nuclear weapons, rockets on the pad right now, fueled with a bunch of button 6 series numbers. Oh, my God, the world's obliterated. And this girl walked in there and recorded him in stereo, made an asshole out of him. Now, I don't give a shit how Hannity wants to spin it. I mean, it's like, period. Of course they tried to bribe her off. Of course the tapes are real. Of course it's Donald Trump trying to silence people because he knows they got this shit on him. And bottom line is, this woman got the goods on him. Now, you keep denying they got the goods. Oh, that's not a big deal. Don't mean nothing. Well, okay, you can have so many mean nothings before it means something, because right now, a federal prosecutor in Manhattan has put a case against Donald Trump's guy. Well, there's no collusion. He didn't have to bring up collusion in that trial, right? He just established that you are a scumbag. You betrayed your country. You were associated with Russian oligarchs before the Trump campaign, during the Trump campaign, during the Trump transition, during the Trump presidency. Enough. Now the next trial will get it. So that's called the noose gets tighter. Now, you want to let Hannity make an asshole of this? Like, the president's a great guy. Bullshit. They're all corrupt. Hillary and all of them. Okay? So what are you going to do? You're going to go down with the SS Titanic and sink with Donald Trump? That's stupid. Trump is done. He's toast. Now, as he waggles as a wounded lion, okay, and tries to get out of this thing, big shit's going to happen, okay? And that's where I come in. See, I turn big shit into cash, moolah, money, profits, okay? Oh, yeah, everything's fine here and stable. Market's really a great market. Bullshit. This is a crisis, guys. And everybody that blows blue sky in your ass and pretends like everything's okay with Donald Trump is absolutely out of their freaking mind. Donald Trump is in trouble. He is in trouble in the elections. He is in trouble with everything he touches turning to shit. He has a good chance of going down. Now, of course, he can wiggle out of it. Of course, he might be able to end this thing. But reality is that he is under attack, okay? And the attack is credible. And the attack is formidable. And the attack is mounting. And the witnesses, whether it's a deep state conspiracy, an FBI agent having sex under a desk with another FBI agent while they're mad, I don't give a shit about all that crap. Really, I don't. okay? And the guy got fired. I don't give a shit, okay? So you fire everybody? This is not a sign of strength of Donald Trump, although he likes to appear that way. It is a sign of the coming wipeout. Understand that, and you can have a nice life. Don't understand that, and you're going to end up with a goddamn Chevy factory, slapping like a shock absorber, having Chevy screw you like Bethlehem Steel did out, and they did the preferred bondholders out of their money, okay? So you're going to you're about to see a whole lot of people screwed up a whole lot of money. Deep State, I don't give a shit. FBI corrupt, I don't give a shit. Mueller investigations, that's phony. The secret files that were lied, whatever the bullshit is, who freaking cares? Are you that stupid? Do you want to go in Disneyland, or do you want to make money? I mean, Hannity. Well, Hannity's such an investor that he's buying distressed property that no one else, by the way, picked over by the big guys on enormous credit and make his fortune being a slumlord. Okay, how do you think that's going to end up? Okay, and he's an apologist for the president. Look around you at these joke people, and look around the stupid shit they're doing, and ask yourself. The President of the United States can't keep quiet. His top advisors. The President of the United States cannot control what's going on there. And I guarantee you that if I had sex with someone I don't want anybody to know about, I'm sure I could come to terms with her and keep it quiet, okay? And I wouldn't send goons to threaten her either, okay? So that shows me that this is a stupid-ass guy that's doing stupid-ass shit and pissing people off. And he's losing the battle, okay? Now it's time to wake up and realize that this is great jeopardy. Now, let me say something else to you. He's going to have to pull some shit to make this go away. What does he pull? Well, I'll let you know about that in due course. And for my loyal subscribers, I'll tell you how to capitalize on that. But look around you and say, what is going on in the Trump administration? Every day, every few weeks, another insider of the Trump administration is coming by saying, this guy's a rat shit piece of shit. And here's how he treated me. Ambrosia was the other one. Cohen, his lawyer, was one. Now we got his chief counsel. So you got to say something's very wrong, okay? Because, normally you're supposed to be a mob boss. You're supposed to be able to keep your people in line and quiet, under control, right? I mean, that's in that business, that's how you run it, okay? So, I mean, he's got people leaking out. She's just disgruntled. He did her a favor, and this is how she rewarded him. He was so nice to her, and then he turned on her. Bullshit. When I hear the spin, I go, oh, yeah. I know who buys that. That asshole at the Chevy factory with the IQ 70, with his gourmet meal, bologna sandwich, and lunch bucket, he buys that shit. But nobody I know with any brains, no entrepreneurs, no businessmen, no people that control their lives believes that crap, okay? So he's playing to the idiots. The problem is he runs out of idiots to fool very quickly here, and that is why he's going to have some big publicity stunt. And I know exactly what he's going to do. And my answer to you is, it will make a lot of smoke and fire, and brimstone, and call down the hellfire and all that shit. But it'll quickly dissipate, and it's not going to have the desired effect he wants. Is that getting through to you? Hello? Calling all people with brains. Trump's goose is cooked. Now he's got his White House attorney guy talking to the special prosecutor. Okay? And listen, these guys are not talking about the great sandwiches in the White House cafeteria, okay? So this is a... Uh-oh. Oh, shit. So every day, Donald Trump moves closer to impeachment. He moves closer to losing elections. And let me tell you something. You don't want to believe it. He don't want to believe it. I don't give a shit. The important thing is the big guy, the President of the United States, he believes that. And every day he becomes more desperate. Every day you see the more, firing removing the clearance of the former CIA director, okay? That is not smart. In fact, if you want to control him, keep the clearance right now. Hope he goes into a file he's not supposed to, I mean, you're going to play it smart. Donald Trump is sneaky but not smart. Donald Trump is treacherous. Don't get me wrong. He has certain gifts. He really knows how to give a speech. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make coal great again. And down the highways of America, there's going to be trucks driven by you trucker guys, mother truckers, Merle Haggard tape supplied by the White House. Just brought me a postcard singing Merle Haggard songs, Make America Great Again. And those great trucks, they're going to meet up with the trains. And it's going to be the American Flyer, red-blooded American freight train. And you're going to be running it, buddy, you and your kids in the caboose, the car, singing America's Great Again. And that's going to go on Great American ships. And all over the world will be the Make America Great label from you steel guys and you coal guys. And America will move to its place of glory. And that is where this is going to go. Like I said, my phone's going crazy here. So anyway, what happened was it's falling apart. Is that getting through to you? Now, I don't think you would expect Donald Trump or that Nancy Huckabee. Oh, the president's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. The president understands. And then you got, what's her name? Oh, Kellyanne. Oh, sweetheart, Kellyanne. You want to come for a hires root beer? Kellyanne? No. Kellyanne says jobs. Oh, jobs. Oh, I get so excited when I see a jobs report. Jobs. American people don't care about collusion, and they don't care about steel. They care about coal mining jobs and being great again and jobs. Okay, who the hell is he talking to? Right, I mean, when you hear that bullshit, I mean, who are you talking to? Are you talking to the movers and shakers? Are you talking to the entrepreneurial businessman? Are you talking to the investors? Are you talking to people who educate themselves, making a contribution, the engineers, the doctors and lawyers and programmers, and the great people on the side, self-made people too, like the Dell Computer people? Who exactly is that message to? And what exactly is it saying? It's saying you're full of shit. It's saying that you have got a formula that works with a blue-collar loser worker strung out on opioids, with his wife having opioid strung-out babies that'll probably grow up to be retarded. It costs us a couple $1 million a year to teach them to say da-da. And that's who your future is. So reality is this shit is not working for Donald Trump, okay? You want to hear it from somebody else. You want to blow blue sky up your ass and believe that this is Donald Trump, a great man who's just... He's being subject to such terrible things. Oh, bullshit. You got in the boxing ring, you're boxing, okay? You don't want to box, don't get in the goddamn ring. Pretty simple formula. Donald Trump knows he's in trouble. From the very start, Donald Trump assessed his situation like, I pulled off the impossible. He really did. He really understood the factory workers. He found the loser, boozer, smoker users, and he appealed to them. Good for him. Smart move. The problem is that in the election where Hillary missed that group, there was an enormous opportunity. He zoomed in like a laser beam. The problem is, like most people like Donald Trump, it's kind of like a one-trick pony. And what's happening is that shit ain't working so well. That's not going to change the election this time because you know why? A whole lot of people understand where, blue-collar town is, and they're going down to the friendly Maze Cafe and having a cup of that shit coffee that sits there, that Bun-A-Meric machine. It's like, that coffee's 18 cents. I'm not buying $2 coffee. Well, if you want to save money, just eat, go down the fountain in the park and, fill up your Dixie cup, and that's free. If you want to show me how frugal you are, I'm giving you to buy that bullshit, but don't tell me you're drinking a cup of coffee, So anyway, you pay for what you get, I tell you a story. I had a friend of mine. His wife was the worst slop garbage cook I ever saw. Got invited to their house for some kind of thing, I don't remember. And they put this bowl of chicken noodle soup that was like nothing but salt water. Had a little yellow potato in it that was hard. And this little itsy-bitsy piece of chicken and a carrot, seriously. And I tasted it. It was like gargling with salt water, I thought. So he said, so he saw my face. He goes, I really don't care how things cook. I don't care about taste of food. I don't care how it cooks. I said, well, you married the right woman because you got what you paid for. And that's kind of like Donald Trump. So if you want that over salty, simple, chicken noodle soup with no chicken, no noodles in it, then you got your man. The problem is a lot of people are tired of that soup and they really want a real bowl of soup. They want a real meal. And now when that happens, that's a completely set of economics. That's a completely different set of presidents. That is a complete marketing deal. And Donald Trump has no idea in the world how to do that. So he now has a problem. See, he was against sleepy Hillary Clinton, who I really believe had some strokes and probably had some brain damage. Not hard to believe with her, right? And I think, like I said, 6 months before the elections, she decided she already won. Trump was a joke. And she stopped campaigning. And she started planning her wallpaper change in the White House and who's going to put in her cabinet, really. So I don't know if that wasn't just a whole lot of luck with Donald Trump. Of course, the Russians were smart enough to collude for him. He was smart enough to hide him. She was stupid enough to get her servers hacked. So there's a lot of one-time events that kind of formed into like the luckiest shot in the world. Now, people say, would you rather be lucky or rather be smart? And they say, I prefer lucky. Well, I prefer both, okay? And Donald Trump is not lucky and smart, okay? So that means that now a lot of smart people are understanding things that didn't happen. See, before we looked at zip code plus 4, okay? That was kind of like how you wanted to form your database. And now that's changed, and now you can get into the mind of your voter. You understand him in the social group. There were demographics were 2 data points, or 10, age, sex, wealth, that kind of thing. Now to 2,000, okay? And so that means that the politicians, and it's available to everybody, can now pinpoint their audience, and the parties can field candidates that touch, that's a good word, touch the voter on many different levels, okay? He bonds with them. He feels one with them. And that has completely changed how elections are going, and that's completely changing the future of this. And this is going to end up with, should we say, Donald Trump getting his ass kicked, because what he's trying to do is a mass hatred kind of thing. He's trying to divide and conquer. And then that, by the way, that's a strategy. But we also got party candidates out there that are trying to be unifiers. And if you can say, listen, I know how you feel. I know the property taxes are killing you, and I understand that the taxes break didn't happen for you, and I think we can fix that. So you got the unifiers. And this is going to be a classic battle between the decisive people and between the unifiers. And Donald Trump has got to do a nasty little stunt, which we'll unfold with you as we're able to win the election, okay? So he's going to turmoil, okay? And, that's part of the Machiavellian nature of politics, I guess. So what you need to be prepared for is that these moves he's about to undertake have huge economic and market significance. And we're going to be able to trade the shit out of that. And how do I explain this to you to understand? It's really time to hold your cards very close to your vest, you don't need to be talking to your friendly neighbors about what you're doing. That's stupid. And it's time to understand that all hell's about to break loose. And, man, some read here. And if you approach it that way, you can really, really, really capitalize on this thing in ways never been possible before. I'll have some green tea, thanks. I, for one, am sick and tired of Donald Trump. I am sick and tired of the publicity stunts. I'm sick and tired of the lies. And to me, they do matter. I'm sick and tired of him calling these great victories when they're really great failures, like Kim Jong-Nunchuk. Look, remember all the blown go? Your life was at jeopardy because this guy had 3 nuclear weapons that he could maybe fly to Guam, maybe California. And Donald Trump had to rush in there and put our military there. Remember, military was ready to invade? And he went there, and they shook hands, and Donald Trump patted him on the ass, and all of a sudden, we don't hear from Kim Jong-Chuks, and they have declared problem solved. Now, if you are so stupid to believe that Kim Jong-Unchuk's problem has been solved, please click the off button here, and maybe you should look for, I don't know, I think Barney, remember Barney? Barney should be on there, or maybe you can find old Mr. Rogers rerun, because you obviously are not capable of having any capacity to understand the grave danger we're in. Nothing's changed there. Kim Jong-un got his nukes, exploded the bomb. He's part of the thermonuclear family. No one will attack him. He's guaranteed his survival. And that's just a fact. And Donald Trump did nothing but legitimize his campaign, right? In other words, the President of the United States met with him, told him what a great leader he was, right? A man who has gulags, concentration camps, creating stickmen like we saw at Auschwitz, is now a great leader to be respected. And that's your president. Not mine. That's your guy. And what I find amazing, people still vote for him after that shit. Oh, my God. Now he started these trade wars, and he has crippled his base, the farmer. He has tripled any manufacturing company. By the way, married U.S. manufacturers are dying under regulation and dying under high labor and material costs. So what does he do? Let me tell you a story. The Chinese have a complex business structure system. Let's suppose that you're in the steel mill business. Well, if you employ a lot of people, there's huge subsidies from government. The government buys your steel at twice the market price to keep you going. Why? Well, because it's cheaper to have those people working in the steel mill than going to Tenement Square or stuck on the rice paddy. Let's say you're a furniture guy. You want to build hardwood furniture, right? I mean, you can try to get it from that IKEA pasteboard, add water like an Alka-Seltzer so it fizzes away. There are people buying high-quality furniture, and the Chinese systematically target. I'm going to give you furniture. I'll give you another example so they're closer to home. So what happens is they buy the finest grade lumber in the world. They bring it back to China, and they sell it to the people who want to get into the furniture-making people at a huge subsidy. Okay, and that means that they already have a competitive advantage, and that's why U.S. hardwood furniture manufacturers are dropping dead like flies hit with a can of rain. Now, let's give you another example, and that would be cell phones. We're going to Generation 5, G5. Well, the Chinese have outspent the government in their monopolies 5, 6, 10 times what U.S. and European people have spent on it. They have gone into the smartphone business. They produce better screens. If you look at the Samsung in Hawaii, these are huge subsidized companies. They've stolen U.S. technology, like U.S. stole technology from England in the day, and they are moving ahead at breakneck speeds. So this trade war shit over steel and coal is so asinine. Now let me break for you another story. Many of the pundits are talking about how China can't survive a trade war with the United States and how they're losing. You've heard all that bullshit. And let me tell you what that is. That's crap. Let me give you one example of what the Chinese have done. Liquid natural gas is now subject to high duties going from U.S. into China, right? And very important market for our LNG producers, and cargoes badly needed by the Chinese. So what did Chinese do? They went, "Oh, Donald, please don't hurt me, Donald. I'm sorry." Bullshit. Chinese did a swap. In sea, they said, "Look, you Qatar boats, you're headed to Vietnam and other places. Let's do a swap. You come to our ports with the cargoes that are non-U.S., non-tariff, and we're going to change the bill of lading, and this cargo is now going to go into, I understand some cargoes are going into Vietnam, some cargoes are going into Korea, and that means there's no tariff, no duty, no punishment, and in essence, they still got the U.S. cargoes, right? Now, when you got somebody that's as stupid as Donald Trump, I guarantee he doesn't know what a swap contract is. Hey, Carlo, what's this swap shit this guy's talking about? Did they do that kind of thing? Did they do a swap on me? What was that? Carlo, swap? He also doesn't know what it is. Doesn't understand it. And more, like Chinese steel. Well, here's a newsflash for you. Steel doesn't have a passport. Okay, it doesn't have a hologram. No facial recognition. No biometric tag on it. And a whole lot of Chinese steel. Well, it changed its origin. So all you can say is, stupid. And that's what you got, Donald Trump. So is he going to win this trade war? The hell he is. Is he stepping on his great big foot? Yeah. Is he a freaking idiot? Well, no. I have a man I very much respect. Tillerson has said, no, he's not an idiot. Tillerson said he's a moron. So I want to stand corrected. Donald Trump is a moron. And this moron, he is really screwing up big time, and you're going to pay the price. So the moron knows he's about to be impeached. He knows he colluded. Oh, Tom, but Fox News said he didn't. It was a conspiracy, deep state. Well, okay, I don't give a shit. I believe whatever you want. But Donald Trump believes it. He fired the head of the FBI to stop it. He asked for loyalty pledges. He's still pissed off at Sessions. That's his whipping boy. Bring Sessions up here. I've finished my dinner. And bring me that number 8 whip. I'm going to beat his ass so I feel better. So, poor whipping boy. So Donald Trump is just moving in the twilight zone. The twilight zone of his run to be president of the United States. You'll never see an event happen like that again, by the way. American public sure got snookered, but they figured it out. So I want to say to you this. Prepare yourself for the October surprise. Prepare yourself for a very desperate president. Prepare yourself for more of the grandstanding and the photo ops, but he's got himself a nice little plan here. And I guess I'm going to find out in my laboratory how smart Americans really are. And like I'm going to tell you again, I don't really give a shit because either way, it's worth a fortune for us in profits in the trades that are tied to it, and I'll discuss them with you one day. And as far as Donald Trump's concerned, he's out of here. He may make it, he may be able to wiggle waggle and stay in power. He's not going to get reelected. And he's trashing the economy. He's in big trouble. So I'm just here to tell you that I want you to enjoy the Trump wipeout. Like I said, Radio Free Wall Street's my free gift for you. And if I give it to you for free, that's worth nothing, and I well understand it. But I've heard more than any man alive these words. I wish I had listened to you. And I say, I wish you had too, but it's too late now because you lost your house, you lost your savings, you lost your retirement, and Donald Trump says you're broke. I'm sorry, Donald Trump says you're fired, and I say, you're broke, sucker!